by architectural photography. And actually, if you visit these projects, you realize that they are not that interested at the architectural photography of this project, which is the masterpiece. So here, the masterpiece is not the architecture, the house itself, but how Julius Schulman, with his camera, is able to create an atmosphere, is able to create a desire, because everyone wants to be so sophisticated, to be in part of this conversation and be, floating over the nightscape of Los Angeles. Actually, he even gave the impression that the house was a cantilever structure floating over Los Angeles nightscape, but actually the house was not even a cantilever structure, but because of the tricks of photography, may disappear the support of the house. So this is the house prior to the transformation into a showroom, a sort of showcase the desire, the idea of willingness, the desire to be like this. But other architects, there are quite interesting omissions. For instance, Schindler wasn't commissioning any of the case study houses because probably his architecture is all but understandable in terms of architectural photography. It's almost impossible to take a good picture of a Schindler house. So it's all about space, terminology, even for instance, the atmospheres that he created with his experimenting plastics. Something that in a black and white photography is very complicated. Or some other architects such as Gregory Ain never was part of the case study house program. He was an architect that focused on social housing even during the late 30s and early 50s, in a time that was very complicated because of the Red Scare and the persecution of political stances that were close to social housing that was associated with communism. So Gregory Ain, probably Julius Schulman, actually, I was lucky to interview Julius Schulman before he died, and he said that he was convinced that John Intensa didn't wanted to hire Gregory Ain for a case study house because he thought that he was associated too much with feminist ideology to be part of the program. Or, for instance, another case that is, but this is my opinion. I suspect that this is part of a personal matter. Since Gordon Drake, he was a very talented architect and died very young when he was just 35 years old, and Gordon Drake was assistant and disciple of Harwell Hampton Harris, if you remember, the first architect of John Intensa. Gordon Drake was very famous that day because he created a very interesting and very cheap houses for single family, for young people like him that were professional, that had returned from the front, and with the help of some friends during the weekends or holidays could make it yourself houses. And for instance, in his own house, this house in Los Angeles in 1946, he proved that his house was could be built with very little money and with even non-professional people. He had worked with Harris in this house. He was his disciple, and probably because he was so associated with Harris, and Intensa didn't let him the opportunity to be part of the case study house program. And he actually was published in all California and all American magazines except for Arts and Architecture, which is quite surprising. He, for instance, this is the architect with his friends that were carpenters or stonemasons that he had known when he was in the front, in the Pacific Front. When he returned, he created a sort of company, formal company, and they created these houses. These houses that won a lot of prizes and awards. For instance, the Progressive Architecture Award in 1946, 1947. His houses were very famous, were published not only in like these modular houses, for instance, the Union House in San Francisco as well. All these houses were published, for instance, by progressive architecture, not only the magazine, but also in all the books and dossiers and monographs published by Thomas Creighton or Catherine Moreau-Ford, shelter magazines such as American Home, Sunset, which proved that the house was appreciated not only by the profession but also by wider audiences such as families and medium-income families. Sunset magazine. He died in an accident in 1952. For instance, this is a last tribute paid by Esther McCoy, who modeled for this picture. Or in European or Latin American magazines such as Revista Arquitectura, Swedish Form, Arquitectura Aujourd'hui, which published a lot of his houses. But he died very young, he disappeared, he was very, his career was somehow finished abruptly. And it is interesting because he became very good friend with Julius Schulman, because Julius Schulman, as part of his strategies to make money, because he published in the magazine and of course had some credit for the picture, but he made money mostly by selling his picture for companies who were eager to announce the products. And actually, when a company bought his images or a magazine published an ad with his pictures, he made more money than with the magazine itself. So he became friends, he took a lot of pictures of Gordon Drake houses, and it was only through the advertising of this product, for instance, Douglas Fir plywood or some other commercials, pictures for companies, that the house or one of these houses of Gordon Drake entered the pages of Arts and Architecture, because John Tensa didn't want to publish his work, only well, somehow entered the magazine, through the back door. Unless this other man, which is another typical construction of a persona, a public persona, that was like the editor himself, social construction, because he wasn't even an architect, he was a designer, he wasn't allowed to sign his own project, and actually a younger generation, such as Jerry Lomax or James Tyler, people who had been educated at the IIT with Mies and Bashman and then moved to California, signed the products or even designed the projects of Craig Elwood, who took all the credit for it. And actually, Craig Elwood became very close. He was like John Intensa golden boy during the 50s. And all the houses that he created was somehow, they tried to somehow reproduce Mies van der Rohe architecture, but in California. So there are some other reflections, but I would like to devote more time to these ideas, because if we have to finish at 10, in 10 minutes, I prefer to devote the rest of because the final part of the presentation was devoted to explain how John and Tinsa were more linked during the 40s with Northern California and the 50s and 60s with Southern California, and which were his supports, his different lobbies through which he actually was. As you prefer. So the idea was that, for instance, when he took over, he was very interested in a sort of a stroke of publicity genius. He approached For instance, he approached Grace Morley in the San Francisco Bay Area and the circles of the Grace Morley, who was the director of the San Francisco Museum of Art, which was, after MoMA, the second largest art museum in the country, and of course the most prominent cultural institution in the West Coast. So he approached Grace Morley and the circles of Grace Morley, such as, for instance, Dorothy Leaves, designer, or Northern California architects such as Fred Lansford, Mario Corbett, William Wooster, of course, and focused on their projects and published a lot of their projects, and collaborating with the San Francisco Museum of Art in organizing an exhibition on Californian architecture. For instance, Western Living, an architectural exhibition on California, later traveled to the Museum of Modern Art in New York, and they were very close in collaborating with all these architects in Northern California. So John Intensa was part of the circles of the Museum of San Francisco Museum of Art. His magazine, for instance, published the catalog of the exhibition that the museum produced, or supported financially the exhibitions in San Francisco, and they were very close. But after the late 40s, when Philip Johnson returned to the Museum of Modern Art, and the Modern Art became this hegemonic institution, cultural architectural institution, John Intensa decided to somehow leave behind his previous contacts and his architecture move towards the interest and the circles of the Museum of Modern Art, because they were more prominent at that time. So, for instance, since the regionalist group of San Francisco weren't that appreciated at that time in the Museum of Modern Art, he preferred to work with the circles of the Museum of Modern Art, and actually he lobbied a lot in order with them finally through, for instance, Styles Tigerman, Carter Money, Philip Johnson, etc., to get her final position as director of the Grand Foundation. So could be